Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance live show number 76. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm excited because we have some special guests tonight. We have good old Maurice, as usual, and I'm not really excited to tell you about him because he is just plain old good old Maurice. But how you doing today, brother?
You know, man, pretty plain. You?
Pretty regular. But I am excited to talk about having RangerJ1999 on the stream. Ranger is the host of the Reality Skewed Gamers live show every Wednesday night, and the Reality Skewed Gamers channel, which pumps out tons of great content. How you doing tonight, Ranger?
I'm doing good. I brought coffee and cocaine for everyone, but I'm out of cocaine, so you just have to settle for coffee.
And I am also joined tonight by another guest, Avinash, who's been on the stream several times of late, and hopefully several times more going forward. I really appreciate having her. She's very knowledgeable in the game. She's one of the officers in the Alliance Alpha, and also a co-host of the forgive me, the podcast, the in-depth podcast on Nukin's channel. So you should check that out. I believe they just did. You guys just have one out this week? I think I saw Nukin post something the other day.
No, we don't have one out this week.
Okay,
no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so you can check her out there. Also, she joins us quite regularly here, so I'm glad to have Avi here again. And we're gonna dive right in here. So first, I want to kind of talk a little bit about the C3PO events and the requirements. So they did disclose the requirements since the last live show, and as I had speculated, it is going to be Ewoks that are required for the event, and they also said that it's going to be quite difficult, if I recall correctly. So I'm assuming it's going to be something similar to the Chewbacca event, where they're not going to go easy on us this time. They're going to expect us to have. It's probably going to be tuned for Gear 11 plus. If you go at it with a lot of RNG, maybe you'll be able to get the 7-star, but. I'm going in expecting to have 3 or 4 Gear 12s with maybe 1 or 2 Gear 11s at the minimum. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, how are you guys doing on the farm so far? You can see on screen I got Gear 12 Wicket and Ewok Scout this week. I'm at Gear 10 with Elder and Sherpa, and obviously my Paplu is pretty weak, so I still got to do a lot of work on him. But Maurice, where are you at?
I got them all. I think I'm missing 1 or 2. I think I got 3 of them at Gear 11, 2 of them at Gear 10. I've got the gear to get Wicket and Elder to Gear 12 and all the rest of them to Gear 11. I'm not going to put the gear on, nor am I going to put any Zetas or Omegas on the team until I face it. I don't have, another good mod set for all 5 of these characters. I can't mod them to be viable in Grand Arena, so I don't see the need in amping them all the way up just for an event. I'm going to try them at the bare minimum. If I can get it, great. If I can't, maybe put a Carboni on here and Omega on there, try it again. If I can't, just go on and go on and go on. If I have to put the Zeta on Sherpa, it'll kill me, but I'll do it. It's a good team. I'm not like dogging on the team. It's a very, very good team. Very, very good offensive team for Grand Arena TW. But I just don't have the mods for it, so I'm trying to get by the bare minimum.
Right. How about you, Ranger? Where you at with the Ewoks?
Well, I feel like a little bit of my soul dies every moment that I put gear on these little murder bears. I'm Gear 10 with all of them. They're all like missing 1 or 2 pieces for Gear 11. I've already done the Zeta on Chirpa. I've done all the Omegas. It didn't hurt me. I have like about 100 Zetas still left and over 100 Omegas. Not going to really affect the old pocketbook. I've got 80 million credits, or all 85. I'm going Gear 11. And I've got decent mods on them, pretty solid. If I have to, I can do mod loadout and switch them out. I'm not taking these little bastards to 12. I am on the Gear 12 train on other characters. This is really messing with my flow, Remon. I need it. In fact, I'm gonna go punch Finn.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's if you're not a fan of the Ewoks, I can understand being pretty upset about it. Again, I'm in a situation though where I think that there's going to be some benefit to them being Gear 12 anyway. I mean, even though, or not, maybe not Gear 12, but I mean, even if you get them to be at a decent level, I think they'll help you win some of these grand arena battles and possibly some TW as well. What about you, Abby? Where are you at?
Not too bad. I've got 3 of them at Gear 11 and 3 of them at Gear 10.
Okay.
So that seems to work. I kind of had them almost there before. I have no Omegas on them whatsoever. Neither do I have any Zetas. And I don't have enough Omegas to be able to cover them either because it's going to take a lot.
Now,
so I'm kind of scared.
Now, this is kind of a discussion we were having a little bit before the stream. We were talking about putting Zetas on them, and I know some people are going to be kind of apprehensive to do that. But if you had to put one Zeta on them to clear the event, I think we're all on the same page here with saying that it's Chief Chirpa. Am I right on his leader ability?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct, sir.
So, I mean, do you guys think that this is going to be really difficult? I mean, do you think this is going to be like Scoundrels difficult, or do you think this is going to be like a tier below that?
Ah, boy.
I don't know, man. That's why I'm just sitting on it. I'm just sitting on stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, they could be just trolling us and saying it's going to be extremely difficult when it's going to end up being a little bit easier. It could be sort of like Chewbacca and the Bounty Hunter, where it was pretty difficult. But I'm not going to touch anything until the event actually comes out and see how well I can actually do. I've got them modded halfway decently, so I'm really hoping that that's what's going to pull me through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You see, what I think is the opposite, actually. I don't think they're trolling. I think they're actually going to be... It's actually going to be harder than we think. I think it's going to be harder than the Scoundrel event.
I don't think so. I think that they learned some lessons from the Scoundrel event. What did they learn? That the sheer... I'm trying to be nice here. The sheer just ridiculous nature of that event. It was sudden. It was honest, right?
Right.
And it was bounty hunters. And if you didn't have... It was not so much about gear. If you think back to the event... It was about 2 things. Well, I should rephrase that. It was about gear if you didn't have certain characters. So either you had Zeta Bosk, and you only needed them Gear 11, right? Or you had 5 other bounty hunters Gear 12 plus. 11, you were really pushing RNG. So I don't know if they're going to go that way because, they look at the data and stuff and how successful was the event? How many people got Chewbacca? What was the reaction? It wasn't the best reaction. It wasn't as bad as the Rev reaction, but I think that they saw this and they're like, okay, maybe we just go a little bit lower than that. If they have a certain amount of gear, like 11 with some Zetas and stuff, then they can beat that. But I could be completely wrong, and it's going to require all Gear 12, and then I will spend the next 9 hours trying to get through.
Yeah, but that's what I think they did learn from that last event, and that's kind of why I feel this way, is because I think that they learned that if people try hard enough, if they just wait for the right roll of the dice, right, the right RNG, they'll get it. And that's kind of what happened with the Chewbacca event. There were a lot of people that didn't have the right amount of gear, and they went in there with under-geared Scoundrels, and they just did it 1,000, 2,000 times until they finally got the right roll of the dice, and they got Chewbacca. So they were able to kind of skate by with a Chewbacca for basically, for without having to spend the money on the gear, which is what the reason is. This is the benefit to the company. They have to make some money on it. So what I'm saying is that what I think is they're going to tune it this time so that you cannot do this without buying gear, unless you already had like really well geared Ewoks. I don't know. I feel like there were quite a few people, especially on video, that got lucky and just think, I think even Chris, I think Anal T101 got him unlocked with like what, gear 8, gear 9. There were a couple gear 8 or gear 9 characters. So
I'd have to go back and look at that because
we got a couple people. Thank Kyrell and Abner doing both in the chat here are saying that the Chewbacca was labeled, and I quote, extremely difficult. And C3PO, I really got to practice saying that.
C3PO.
C3PO is just difficult from the forum postings.
But that was posted by two different people judging the content. You can't judge it just because someone says something like.
Oh, I know. I'm just pointing it out.
Right.
So,
I mean, it could be something there, but you know, one person's idea of very difficult might be very different from somebody else's. Same thing with difficult.
well, I think it's gonna be tough, like Remon. Like,
I think it is. I don't think you're going in there with their year 8 or 9, and
I mean,
because we've had years to farm these characters. They reworked them. They redid their artwork. They showcased them. Like they did a whole work. They gave us new Ewoks. We've had plenty of time to do it, so we're definitely going to need. It's not going to be BB-8 event easy. It's not going to be Palpatine easy.
I think it's going to be between.
With Gear 8 waves.
I think it's going to be between the Bounty Hunter event with Chewbacca, and I think it's going to be between that and the BB-8 event.
I think it's gonna be, yeah, I think it's gonna be between like somewhere between the Scoundrels and the Bounty Hunter event.
Yeah.
The Scoundrel one was so incredibly easy that I was able to get through everything with Gear 7. And then the Chewbacca one, with the Bounty Hunters, I had to gear them up and put a lot of speed and do some loadouts with my arena stuff to be able to get through that one.
well, I mean, time will tell. But again, I have a feeling that they're gonna throw us for a loop here, and we're gonna get kind of shocked, and people are gonna have to panic farm gear. They may even release some sort of a. I mean, did they release some sort of when the Scoundrel event came out? Did they release some sort of double drops or something like that for us to be able to farm the gear?
What was it like for a weekend? I believe it was.
Like
I don't believe there was one for that. I don't think there was for that. No.
Not for the gear. It was for the shards.
Well, now bear in mind this is also happening around Christmas time, so there's probably going to be something. I think they'll have something going on, right? I mean, they'll probably have like.
They did give us presents.
What's up? What's up with that? That's another thing. I mean, I collected it, right? But where are they? I mean, like...
All right, I admit it. It's from your good old friend RangerJ1999. I didn't want it to be a surprise. I was talking to old Saint Nick, and I was like, "What do the fans really want?"
Why would they give us those pieces and then have us collect them and then have them nowhere in the game to be seen? You know what I mean?
I'm hoping they're Chewy shards.
They're going to be opened up at a special time.
Clone Wars Chewy shards for the win.
I'm sure they are. Imagine it's like it's just like a 7-star wicket, you know, or like you get like all the gear that you need to gear up 5 Ewoks right before C3PO.
What if it was like Jack Daniels? Free Jack Daniels for the whole Star Wars Galaxy of Hero community. Oh, me and good old Maurice will lead the party. That would be
a decent gift. Yeah, I mean that very expensive, but a very decent gift. Very nice of them. So okay, the other discussion I wanted to have about this is we kind of talked about this during the week, but what 5? Do you think? I think we actually talked about this on Ranger Stream. But what 5 do you think are the best Ewoks to go in there with? I mean, we have 7, right? So if you're going to be choosing 5 to go with here, what's the best 5 to roll with in the event that gives you the best chance to beat it? Do you think?
Elder, Chirpa, Poplu, Wicket, and Logray.
Okay.
Well, we were joking about this on the Shattered Order podcast the other night. Like, if the opponent, if the enemies we face are just full of countering characters, you're gonna need that T-Bow lead, right? So that's not out of the realm of possibility. Kind of throw us for a loop because all the talking heads like myself are recommending Chirpa, the same 5 she just recommended, you know. So you know, that'd be a way to switch it up. Like everyone panic farms these certain 5, but then you really need T-Bow. And the only people that really have T-Bow developed are the people that were around when the Rancor first came out, you know, or the hardcore Ewok guys.
Yeah, he was the bomb back in the Rancor days.
Elder is a safe bet, for sure.
I would say the revive from Elder is definitely a safe bet. Chirpa is a safe bet, honestly, I think, as leader. Personally, I think that Ewok Scout is important because he's the highest damage dealer of all of them. And, you know, again, if one of these things does any damage, it's Ewok Scout. And, you know, he's... I mean, I would have to say if there's one thing that the Ewoks lack in general as a faction, it's damage, right? I mean, they have a great synergy. They call in assists, they can cleanse, they can revive, you know, they can, you know, you get retribution. I mean, they have like a really good synergy. But the one thing that they really lack is DPS. They lack damage. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, if anything, you want to have at least one hard hitter in there. And I kind of think that that's why I'm leaning towards Ewok Scout being in the team. My team is this. I mean, I'm doing it more because of where I'm at too with gear. But I'm saying I feel like Chirpa lead, Ewok Scout, Wicket, Ewok Elder, and Paplu. That's what I think. Now,
well, you're married to Ewok Scout. there's no changing that.
Yeah. I mean, Ewok Scout.
You're all in.
Yeah, I'm all in on Ewok Scout. But I think he's going to hit like a truck. Gear 12 Ewok Scout is going to hit like a truck. Okay, but we'll see. I mean, that may not be enough. I mean, again, I'm still also. I'm pretty behind on Paplu, and being that he's going to be kind of the protector of the team, I'm kind of scared about that. So. We'll see how I do with gear. I mean, we have some raids coming up over the next couple days, so I'm sure I'll get some more currency and be able to gear up a little bit more. I've been farming heavily these Fabritech data pads that I need for both Elder and Chirpa, so I'm hoping that I can get, them to gear 11, and, we'll see. I haven't even looked to see what they need at gear 11 to get to gear 12, but, I'm expecting day one to be rolling in there like gear 12, gear 11 Chirpa, gear 11 Elder, probably gear 9 or gear 10 Paplu, and that's where I think I'll be at probably day one with probably a whole bunch of stress and aggravation for that first 24 to 48 hours until I shell out some gear or some money for some gear. But we'll see. As usual, I'll probably try to do it live, and I'll probably fail ridiculously and horribly, and I'll probably have to pack it in and then regroup and then do it again another day.
Well, we'll bring lounge chairs, some wine, and maybe a little popcorn, and we'll watch the show.
Some fine cheese.
I still have a 6-star. I still have a 6-star Chewbacca. I mean, when the event's coming back, right, in a couple weeks.
Maybe.
So,
27.
Yeah, so I'll be able to get them then. I got Bosk done now. I have better scoundrels now, so it'll be easy this time, I think. But I did a live show for the Chewie event when that first dropped. And I don't know if any of you guys saw that. I had one attempt where I got like really close, and I just couldn't do it. But it's one of those things where. It's fun to give it a shot. I like it better that they're more difficult, to be honest with you. I personally, I miss the difficulty of, that original Yoda event where, you have to sit there for a couple hours to do it, and you have to try different team combinations, and, you have different strategies. You have to keep logging out until you got Barriss as his ally, so you could, knock Barriss down with health and then have her equalize Yoda's health. It was different strategies that people were using to try to get it done. I ended up beating Yoda just straight up. I didn't have to do anything like that. It took me 2 hours, but I finally got it. We'll see. I mean, I think that it's fun when there's a little bit of challenge element involved, for sure.
True.
But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out some more info about when the event drops. It'll probably happen right after we find out what his abilities are, which we haven't really gotten a solid date on that yet. But as soon as we get the abilities, they'll probably let us know what day the event will be starting. So I would venture to say we're probably looking at within the next 5 to 7 days. This event starts. I think within the next week, for sure. We're definitely looking at, in my opinion, a start date of like the 14th, 15th, 16th. So somewhere around there. But we'll have to wait and see. So what I want to do now is kind of go into the Grand Arena. And I haven't done my battles yet, so I'll try to do some now for you guys. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Grand Arena? Maurice, how do you do day one of the Grand Arena?
I haven't played any battles yet.
No? Okay.
No.
What about you? What about you, Ranger?
So I had 6 battles, like you do. I think my score I don't think he's not attacked me, so I don't know if they count defense into the score as well, your overall score. But just from 540, I got 1306. I think I had one battle where I got, out of 59 points, I got 54. The other one was 56 because I didn't have, you get like the amount of protection you may lose causes you to get less scores. So I won all 6 with all my characters. It was, you know, and he still hasn't attacked me yet. So, but that could change easily. I don't know what his schedule is.
I don't mean to interrupt. Wergo makes a good point here. Before you start your Grand Arena, man, go check your quests. You might want to take one of the Grand Arena quests before you get started.
Yeah, I did. I got some nice stuff from it. Yeah. I got a bunch of stuff from it. So I was like, and the cool thing is each battle gave you 700, gives you 100K, I think. Mm-hmm. So the rewards I think are pretty cool. The quests, I'm not a quest guy. I think that's fine. I'm not going to like live or die by quests. I just don't. I got too much other stuff to do, you know?
Yeah.
So
which quest should I take?
I mean, like I just did the first 3. I didn't really look into it too much. I just like, I'll do this one, this one, this one. Go.
The rewards are good for these Grand Arena ones. They're not like the junky old ones we had.
No, they're
like
pretty decent.
Omegas for like gear moving Ahsoka and winning 15,000 battles. It's like
can you just activate all of them?
I think you can only have 3 activated at the
I mean, they're not
like that.
Yeah, I think
I'm able to. I'm not sure.
I think I did 2 out of the 3 I had already. So I think the one I have for the 5 Zetas and something else, I've got like Retribution, a couple more turns, and there's another one that I think the next Grand Arena I'll have it done. So I'm like, okay.
Inflict 100 debuffs. Okay.
All right. Yeah, everyone's saying that was the best in chat. That's the one I took myself.
Yeah, that was easy.
I didn't get a chance to play the other day though. I mean, it was so buggy. I was kind of hesitant to play.
Yeah, I didn't even try it. Yeah.
I'm gonna do the Darth Trey and Kenobi one probably.
Well, the thing is, like, people are taking these challenges, so it's pretty safe. Like, let's say a lot of people take the Darth Trey challenge. Pretty safe to say not too many people are going to place Darth Trey on defense if they have this quest active, you know. So
right.
It's pretty safe to assume you're not going to see too many Darth Treyas, at least for 10 Grand Arenas. Then you might start seeing some more.
Yeah, as I said, they're fun to kind of mess around with, but I focus on more like, let me just win these, get it over with. If I get the quest done, great. If not, then I'm...
Oh, me too, man, yeah.
That's how I look at it, too. Yeah, I just don't pay that much attention to them.
The titles mean nothing to me. Although I had to change mine for Patreon because it's too much like Grande Patron, and I just can't live with myself with that kind of title.
All right, so let me see here. Should I use my Traya team against his Palpatine team, or should I use it against the Bastila team?
Well, look at the Bastila team and see what you got. So, I mean, I would say use your Bastila team against... he's got, what, CLS, Bosk, Bastila, Night Sisters...
He's got a nice Scoundrel team.
So I would say definitely use your Bastila against his Bounty Hunters. You could probably use... I don't know what you have, actually, so I'm just guessing.
Well, I mean, I still have my Traya team. I have my Revan team. I have Thrawn and Palpatine, so I could put like another team together there.
Yeah. JTR. I mean, you could. I mean,
My JTR.
Is that a
team-
wedge lead I see on defense there?
Yeah.
Who in the world put JTR on defense?
I don't know.
I actually did.
Okay.
I actually did also. But I got a Rogue One team on defense. I put some bad teams on defense. Yeah, no, I wanted to save the best teams for offense. So
Rogue One's not
great on
terrible.
offense. JTR's keep your JTR for future for offense. I mean, first order is fine on defense. I'm thinking of it like Territory Wars. The Rogue One thing I don't understand because they're awful on defense. I think you're short selling yourself there for some offensive capabilities with breaking that team up. Night Sisters are fine on defense. Did you go full Night Sisters or did you go like with a nest or something with it?
I think I went with a nest.
That's good.
No, I didn't. I actually went with I still have a paper zombie, so I did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need to.
Bounty Hunters are nice. They're fine. The other team that's just Rebels, throwing them in there, that's fine. I think, just do the normal opposite of what you have against their teams. That's kind of the way I looked at it. Depending on which team they have on, their offense. So if you look at a JTR, you could use your CLS against that team, wipe it out. Night Sisters, if they're running just a regular Night Sister team, then take your troopers in. They are, God bless them. Have fun with your troopers.
Yeah.
His JTR team is really not that good.
Wow.
Wow. No tank? Really? Wow.
Wow, he rolled with no tank.
Holy cow.
Who got that 199?
That's a raid Sith. That's a phase 1 raid Sith team.
Yeah.
Not for heroic. It's not. The Resistance Trooper will die with one AOE from Nihilus in gear 11.
What's his BB&R2 on that team? I mean, good lord.
I mean, he doesn't have a Zeta on Nihilus, so that's kind of an indicator.
Wow.
Well,
I don't either.
but he's running Palpatine.
You don't have a Zeta on Nihilus is unique. What's wrong with you?
Wait. Does he have a Traya? He's not running Traya?
Doesn't have a Traya, or he's saving Traya for something else. Like, he definitely doesn't have a Traya.
Well, what? He's got the other drive. All right, I'm just gonna go.
Holy cow!
Definitely doesn't have a Traya. Definitely doesn't have a Revan either. Because
he just wasted his triumvirate team by not. If he has a.
We don't know if he has a
just
Traya.
Ruined the team. Yeah, if he does have a Traya, then he just ruined the team because he put his triumvirate on defense and didn't put a Traya on. If that was the case,
I honestly don't think I can.
I like the CLS team on it can be good on defense. I'm fine. Like
you said, that CLS team is going to be.
I think that's. I think that CLS team is his best team.
But you could go your Traya against that. You've got your Revan team, so you can easily beat his CLS team with that.
Should I use Revan for the CLS team?
You could use your. I mean, for the Basla team, you could run your CLS team, and you got to pick out your teams ahead of time.
I bet you this is his arena team. So he's got 122 speed on CLS. So his CLS is 274 speed.
Pretty solid.
I would use your Revan or your Traya for that team. I would use your Palpatine for that Bosk team. That looks to be his second. Check the speed on Bosk. If Bosk is, I don't know, 80 or less speed, you can probably get away with your Palpatine.
41 speed. Okay.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that boss team. It looks like they're just geared well, probably because of that Chewbacca event.
That's rough.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah. Oh.
You see, I think that
Okay, well,
I
this
think
is
I think that Basla team is going to be more trouble than you guys think.
I don't think so. Look at it. Check this.
I don't know.
Basla gives an insane amount of protection. Okay, so I mean,
yeah, but if it's not fast and you go first and you got the right team, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy win.
Yeah.
All right. Let me use my. I think I'm going to use my Revan team against this CLS team because I think that's the way to go.
I think that's fine.
I think that's a safe bet. I'm going to use Kenobi here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do this and see what happens.
I mean,
if you
kept the
lose,
house, man. You kept everybody on offense. Just go nuts.
yeah,
Go
it's
ham.
go crazy, man. You got enough to easily beat all his teams.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I mean, other than the CLS team which you're facing, but you still have Treya. You still got troopers. You got a lot of stuff you can use. It was at this moment.
It's an exhibition, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's exhibition.
Oh,
This
no,
doesn't count.
I'm not really that worried about it. I mean, like, I'm just saying. I mean, I'd be more worried about TW because I don't want to mess up my teammates. I'm care more about that than.
And you'd have to have the wrath of Avi here if that was the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I caught myself doing that.
Let's talky, Remon, and more fighty.
Okay,
These are time.
It's time to get rid of CLS immediately.
It's time to get medieval on that ass. Let's get going.
Like, I found myself just like racking my brain for defense in this thing, like just sitting there and deciding on one team and fiddling around for an hour, making another decision. I was like,
I treated it like territory wars. What would I use in territory wars? And then same thing, and it worked out fine. You know.
Well, here's one thing is that 99% of the people that play the game really have no idea how to do even guild TW because they're being told what they need to do.
True. Very good.
So they're told what teams, they're told where to place it, they're told how to attack. So the people that are running the TWs and designing the teams and such are the ones that are going to be more beneficial. In this aspect, are going to kind of know and hopefully spread a little bit of knowledge to everybody else to help out people that can't come up with like the 7 different teams or less for each of the TW that they're going to be doing for Grand Arena.
Well, this was pretty easy.
Now, when you get down to just bays, try to stall and get as much protection back in your characters as you can because you will get an extra point. Like see how your Bastila has just a hair of protection off her?
Yeah, it makes
try to call her to assist. That way she fills her protection up to get an extra point.
I mean, there was nothing I could do there, but okay.
No, she's got it. She's back. She's back in full protection now. So that
you only lost. That's what happened to me. I lost some protection into the battles I fought. That was the only little hiccup I had.
Oh, so if you have full protection, you get.
Yeah, see right there,
extra
full protection.
Points,
You just won that Bastila of yours. So, I think the maximum number of points is, I guess,
59, 60. Right?
65.
Is
65 is what I thought, but yeah,
somebody said 65.
It looks like 60.
I think it depends on what your GP is and stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with the scoring.
You can go in with 4 characters too and get bonus.
Oh, that's funny when you pop out, you see like CLS just like die and disappear. That's funny. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go after this area here now, or should I just clear one area and then move on to the next one?
Yeah, Wergo makes a good point. Your Finn team, you got a Zeta Finn, yeah?
Yeah, but I made a mistake, and I realized it after I did it. I put Finn on my JTR team. So I'm not Finn. I mean, I put Poe on my JTR team.
That's not bad. You could, that kind of kills your Finn.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah, that's where I screwed up. I as soon as I clicked the button, I was like, man, I should have put anybody else there. I should have put old Ben there.
Yeah, or you can Chopper. You can go a lot of ways.
Yeah,
That's why I'm so glad I started my Holdo today. Screw that crap from now on. She's sticking in there. Gonna love it.
All right, so should you think I should just beat this area, or you think I should go back to this side and start working on some other teams? Because I don't know. I feel like does it matter if you clear a section? Does that give you more points for conquering an area?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so
yes, it does.
So I think it's better to just clear the area and then move on to the next one. Okay, so let me see this. This is how well modded is his Boba Fett? Let's see.
I think the mods are fine. They're lacking speed and he's got mods. Looking at his roster, they're modded pretty solid the right way. It's just a matter of speed. So I'm trying to think of somebody you can use besides your CLS team.
Imperial Troopers.
Troopers work well if it depends on how fast his Stark is. If his Stark is more than it's you'll destroy the the bounty hunters. So you may want to look at your troopers first and save your CLS team for one of those other teams, like maybe Night Sisters or something like that. You got to think about this kind of stuff when you're doing it, because you know you gotta
I have a feeling I'm going to lose if I try to go into a full Gear 12 team with that, because my troopers are not that good. I mean, I have. Let's say
okay, yeah. If they're not that good, then don't use them.
I mean, I could make a hodgepodge Rex team also. So what I could do is I could put.
Well, this is why I love having. Do you have like your squad set up for like, you know, territory wars and stuff like that? Good old Marine or.
No, I mean, not really. These are like old teams that I used to have set up, but I don't use these teams anymore.
Dude, that's what I love, is having my teams ready to go, that I can, you know, do this kind of stuff and see what I have and mix and match a bit. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, I could put together, you know, a Grand Admiral Thrawn team.
You could go Grand Admiral Thrawn with Palpatine. You know, you go Thrawn Magma. I use that team to kill one of his team. The guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. So I mean, but I don't want to use that. Against...
Well, let's just go down the line. Let's look at what he's just, you know.
So I could run a Traya team with Traya, you know, Nihilus, Scion. I could run Sith Trooper, and then I could also put. I think I have. Do I still
put another Sith in there, because you're gonna destroy him.
I still have Ness too. I could put Ness in there.
I wouldn't use Ness in that team, because I think you're going to annihilate the crap out of his team. Hell, if I were you, I'd just put another Sith in there and go have some fun, man, because your team's going to destroy his.
Then I can put together a Grand Admiral Thrawn team. I can put together a CLS team, and I can put together like a Rex team with like Rex, Wampa. I can use. You
gotta set your teams, man. You gotta use some loadouts.
Yeah. All right, so let's do this. Why don't I go with CLS for this one? Actually, you know what? Let me use Grand Admiral Thrawn. All right, you know.
Which team are you facing?
I'm facing the Scoundrels. Then I also have that Bacilla team that's going to be a pain, but I think I can get through them with either. I could probably use Traya against them.
You could use Traya. You could use CLS. You just hit Grandmaster Yoda in the beginning and just burn him out. That's a possibility you could do. Whatever you want, man. I think your teams are better than his with mods and speed mods and just in general. That play around with it, man.
Yeah. All right, let's see what I can come up with here. Right.
I would go CLS, Han, Chewbacca, Chirrut, and Baze. Oh, you don't have Chirrut and Baze.
I don't have Chirrut and Baze because I put him on the Rogue One team, yeah.
Well, you got old Ben. You got, Ahsoka's fine because she'll get all the buffs, and then you can go, Chewbacca in that team.
Exhibition, man. Just go ham. Just get in there and go.
Get in there.
I think I'm going to put Sabine in here, actually. I like Sabine.
Sabine is very, very useful.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have her. I didn't really know how to use her for the longest time in PvP, but
yeah, she has her moments to shine. I think that. Where is your Chewbacca?
Let's not talk about that. My Chewbacca's at the bottom of my roster. I still haven't put any.
What?
I still haven't.
Give Dengar a call. See where his Chewbacca
is. So
even at 6 stars, Gear 11 with that combination of CLS.
Yeah. It still works because I've got
It's all about the assist, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I've got a 6-star Gear 11.
I could totally use that Chewbacca. I just haven't I was just waiting till the event came back around. I just left him on the bottom of the roster. I'm working on other stuff. Okay, I'm trying to get C3PO here. All right.
We believe you. Yeah. All
right. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully, I don't get roasted here. Let's see what happens here.
You can do it.
They're totally going to get the payout. You know, I'm going to be in a tough situation. But let me. Should I go for Bosk first? No, go for Boba Fett first, right?
I went for Greedo first. Got his ass out of there.
Yeah, get Greedo's ass out of there. Yeah, as fast as possible. He's like the weakest, squishiest one there at the moment.
Put that on boss. Make sure he can't taunt. Okay, we went for Greedo.
Well, I could try to reduce Bosk's turn meter here, which
Oh, you got. He's still all right. You can use armor shreds on him.
Okay.
Yeah, look at your CLS. Joseph Montez just said that CLS has no lightsaber.
He doesn't have a lightsaber.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And what type of hacks you running here, buddy? What type of hacks?
That's
The best hack. The best.
Should I use armor shred on him?
Yes,
Yeah.
on boss.
Yeah.
You guys
You
saw it
wanna
here
be able
first.
to
Grand
pick them.
Arena actually handicaps you by removing your character's weapons if your team's too good. Yeah, like Han Solo, does he? Yeah, he does have a pistol. I was getting all excited. Okay.
Of course they go for Sabine. Come on, man. Leave Sabine alone. Okay. All right.
You're gonna pick up the pace there, Remo.
Yeah, I'm not doing too hot. I'm telling you.
You're gonna screw around with that Zam Westwood going. You're gonna have an issue here. Zam, she's decent. She's all right after that rework with the bombs. You can't dispel them now. Before you know it, your character's like Han here has got 4 bombs on him.
Now
There's
you
nothing
can
you
have
do
a
about
little
it.
bit more difficulty there.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Go after. He's not taunting, so go after Zam or something.
Yeah.
I got another piece. Let's get this going.
Oh, this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was gonna get knocked out by this team.
Well, I think the team you have is just not that effective. It's not over yet, but I mean, the thing that Chewie makes
What is up with the lack of lightsaber? That is crazy.
The thing is, the reason this team could work so well is Chewie with the call and assist and everything just burns characters down. It is redonkulous. You can kill tray teams. I've seen all kinds of just nasty damage flow from that team, and it's you know. Oh, very nice. Get Booba out of there. Booba.
I mean, this is clearly the fault of CG because CLS does not have a lightsaber.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So that means he can't hit.
Yeah.
So that's why he's losing. So
That's what this all boils down to, guys.
Yep.
Well, I blame Finn.
I blame Rose.
Oh.
Oh no! Get up, get Sam. Come on. What those rebels do anyway? You know Luke Skywalker? Yeah, they took his lightsabers. Oh no!
Like, honestly, man, if their turn meter gets manageable, I'll just let it time out. So you're not starting at just a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, taunt just went off. I would just kind of chill.
Okay.
Or you can just put on auto, see how well Luke does.
You might get, if you get rid of Zam, that'd be now you got taunt. But you can get by the taunt. I don't know. I have a couple. I've never tried CLS first boss.
It works, but first off, you have to go the team that works because is Sheridan Base, CLS, Han, and Chewie. That's the team, and that team is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just eat alive any team they got.
The problem now is I'm gonna have to go in there with like a boss team to take this guy out. I mean, because I
Not necessarily.
Let's see how you do on the other teams.
So yeah, you've got their turn meter down.
All right, so I'm gonna use Traya against this team.
Go for it.
Because I want to clear at least one territory. So let me go with Nihilus here.
All right, this leads to a good question. What do you guys like? Me, you how many teams do you have to play? 6, Ramon?
6, yeah.
I had to play 7. If you guys place 5 or 7 teams, are you putting your stronger teams in the smaller zone? Are you making the bigger zone harder? Are you balancing it? Like, how are you guys playing that? Like,
good question. I think you would probably want to make the.
Should I go with Maul here as my 5th, or who should I go with here as my 5th?
Yeah, why not?
You got a reasonable Savage?
No, not at all.
I would go with Maul. That's fine. I mean, really, you should.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Jedi team, so it's anti-Jedi. I mean, like,
yeah, go Maul, go Dooku, go. I mean, I don't think you're gonna have much.
Trey is alone's gonna kill the crap out of this team.
Okay, so strongest team in one zone, second and third strongest in the other, is what Joseph said in the chat. I'm just curious. I couldn't decide, so I just kind of made a decision. My defense teams pretty much closed my eyes and just put them. I don't know. I'm glad. I think they did a good job with this exhibition. I mean, they clearly planned for something to go wrong because it went wrong. They shut it down. I think they handled it very well. They gave everybody first place rewards, launched another one right away. It's like they've kind of planned for this time, for something maybe to go a little bit wrong. I mean, everyone got first place rewards for free. Basically, you had to place 7 defense, or place however many defense you have to place. Log out of the game. The next day you log in, you get 60-something, 70% of a 6E mod. Like that's not a bad deal. It's good. We get to play again. We're getting lots of practice in. They're giving it a nice stress test. It's basically what this looks like. They're kind of stress testing it with the live community. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If they started it live and we were in the bracket and it messes up and it costs people, then people have a reason to complain, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited about this game mode. I just hope it goes well, because this really could be a lot of fun. It's optional.
And that's the nice thing, is that it's optional. I don't want people to feel stressed that they have to do this, because there's so much going on and it is a time sink for a lot of people. So it's just nice that they can just participate whenever they feel like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, because if these rewards of the exhibition are any indicator of what they're really going to be, you can log in. Like, let's say we get this mod salvage after every round. You could just sign up. You don't even have to place. I mean, just place the defenses. Never pay attention again. Don't participate at all in offense. Lose all 4 matches, and you get a 6E. You get enough purple components. Make yourself a 6E mod. That's not a terrible deal for doing nothing. Like.
So they said this is an exhibition. This doesn't count towards your.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I confess to just I'm trying to ramble on and talk while you play, so I'm just trying not to.
Well, I think I got this one in hand pretty much. It's just the other one was a little more challenging because I know they weren't fast, but they were really well.
You're missing. No, it's just you're missing pieces, man. You just didn't have the team to be as effective.
That was not a good CLS team. Yeah.
I have hard counters for bounty hunters, but if they get away from you, they just get away from you. You can't get. It's like the first order.
Yeah, you have to have the right team with the right components, and that's why the counters are there. There's a reason why they work, and so lesson learned. Hey, look,
quest complete!
Yay! Okay, that's a win. All right, so
when powers activate.
All right, so now we got to go back to this battle here, and
I'd say that one for last, the one that you didn't.
Oh wow! You got 5 and 10 Omegas just for playing a couple grand. That's That quest is pretty easy, isn't it? I'm gonna
You don't think I should clear the territory first? Because I mean, I have a feeling.
Well, you still have 3 more teams.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling I'm not going to beat all those teams. I have a feeling that it's going to be at least if I clear one territory.
Well, not with that attitude, Mr. Poopy Pants.
listen. I'm just keeping it real here. Okay, I'm just keeping it real here. I do not have enough in the tank here, I think, to take those teams out. So I put. So
you'd be surprised at what you can mishmash together to take down a team. So.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna try.
So let's kill the. You can kill the JTR team. You can kill that Night Sister team.
Yep.
You know, just believe in yourself. Ours with you, but cannot be done. That is why you failed.
Well, I already used my Revan team. I mean, I really only have that Palpatine Thrawn team left. Okay, let me try.
We got Rex and Wampa. You've got your Rhesus Mar there for that Palpatine team. She can fill in. You know, you do have your Gear 12 Ewok Scout.
My Gear 12 Ewok Scout.
Not the Gear 12 Ewok Scout.
You got some stuff. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at Hermit Yoda, Ezra.
Okay.
I know,
yeah. There's more than you think. Yeah.
I'm thinking something here, guys, and you just tell me what I'm thinking is crazy. Okay.
I'm waiting. No.
Think about it. Okay. Think about the possibilities.
I am thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. No.
Think about the possibilities here. You know.
So, get on, Maurice. Get your boy here.
Well, I mean, this. What team are you fighting with this?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
That would probably have to be against the Ray Jedi training team.
That could work. They don't have a tank. Actually, that's not
that is for a makeshift team. That's very fair.
Oh man, crap! That might work.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
If they had a tank, no way would it work. So
yeah, no. That's I roll with it.
I think it's worth a shot.
I think that's
go for it.
Just picking, mix and matching without breaking up maybe your Palpatine or you got some good Empire synergy left there.
I don't have another healer, and Hermit Yoda is probably the best fit for this because I want to save Beezus for the Sith, right?
Yeah.
So
because you got Nest, you have Nest. I just saw Nest. You got Nest still on the bench too. You got this is a good team. This is a good makeshift team with what you have left, I think.
All right. Let's go in.
Well, you know, worst case scenario, I get my butt kicked, and that's it. You know, it is what it is. But you know, let's see what happens here. His team's not that fast, so it shouldn't be.
Look pretty fast there to me.
Okay.
It was at this time that Remon realized he had effed up.
Like, watch, you're sitting here really stressing it, trying to plan it, and at the end, you'll beat all the teams, and you'll have like Nest, Thrawn, and all these like meta characters left on your bench. Just like, I overthought that one, you know.
Got this.
Right.
That happens to me every TW. Like, I get through and we get through the board and it's over, and I always find myself with like 1 or 2 meta characters I should not have left. That just because I was so wanted to save them, and I just saved them too long. And then like I ended TW with like a Rex and Wampa on my bench, or like a Nest or something like that.
Sometimes I like to just go into whatever the front wall is and just whack it with everything that I just go for the toughest teams I could possibly find and just go for it. And then I run out of gas in the next zone, and it's like, okay, guys, I'm going to go have some coffee now.
That healing immunity on Zalbar sucks. It's like the worst person they could have put it on. But Harbor Yoda does have an equalized heal. Oh, yeah.
If I put this on Zalbar, will that dispel him?
It makes it go.
Not with that lock.
It will get rid of the daze, the speed down, the offense, and the exposed, but
That's you can, yeah.
If I do it on mission, no, okay, yeah, let's do it on Zalbar.
There you go.
There we go.
The Sun Chop. Oh God, I love Womp.
Wampa is so cute and fluffy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I'm not gonna take him home to the mom and dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, so we just got Rage Jedi training to contend with, which is which is not that hard, which is not that easy, but you know.
Well, you got Wampa. It's yeah. I'm gonna put that on the snake. Roar.
I think it's time to do this.
Trying to get Cray Cray.
We stealth with her.
I've always liked Rex. Rex has always just been such a great character.
Always been a great tune. Works great.
Yeah, baby, 56 banners. All right, I'll take it.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was not bad. That was not bad. So, oh, I got another quest complete here. That's cool. All right, so now, Rage Jedi training's gone. Again, I think we have some challenges here. I want to dive into another battle, but I really want to take out this boss team.
Your OCD knows no bounds.
It does. It does. I'm just wondering if I can do it with a droid team.
Go in the droid team and go in there with the E team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there with the droid team and then possibly an Ewok team right afterwards. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with Grievous. I'm gonna go with 86. I'm gonna go with.
If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat. I'll scoop them up because we will get to a question and answers part.
I'm gonna go with Engineer, obviously, and should I go with B? Should I go with B2?
I'd go Chopper and
what team you fighting?
T3. I don't know.
I'm finding the bounty hunters.
T3 or Chopper?
Well, T3 is only gear 9. I have a gear 11 B2.
B2's good.
If Bosk taunts, I mean, I can dispel with B2.
I'd go all droids.
There's also no damage with B2.
Oh, that's what you need T3 for.
How's my T3? Let me see here. It's not that great. Well, I mean, why not, right? T3. Let's go for it.
Wergo makes a good point. I mean, I'm on a little bit of delay if you haven't already hit go. Have you already hit go?
No.
No, not yet.
The team you're facing is going to be fueled up in turn meter, so you might want to use B2, just because they're gonna attack first, and he'll get triggered.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you can put the buff block on him at least.
Okay. All right. I have a feeling I'm going to get wiped out here, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, there's a slight possibility, but we'll see. How fast is your engineer?
He used to be fast, not anymore.
Yeah, back in 2015.
Back in 2015, he was fast.
What Riemann doesn't know is we secretly replaced his Java engineer with Folger's Crystal.
With Folger's Crystals.
That was pretty impressive there from General Grievous. That AoE. Oh, man.
I am going to hit you with noodles.
It was cool seeing him in TW actually be semi-decent. He hit pretty hard. Like we fought a guild. They placed a real clever zone, including him on defense. And it just Just the sheer element of surprise threw us for a loop.
Shoot her! Kill her! What are you doing?
Oh, she gained all her health back. Man, come on.
Ooh, that 4,400 crit from B2. That's nasty.
All right, AoE. Okay, come on. Let's take her out here. Oh, of course he called B2 in. Okay, she's out.
There you go.
All right, now.
Just get rid of Dengar. I'm gonna shoot him in his bandaged head.
Grievous is. Oh.
Well, he's squishy anyway, so he needed to die. There you go.
Well, there it goes. There goes the neighborhood. Well, we can dispel that.
Keep on Dengar.
Well, Dengar can't stealth like this, so... Leave my IG-86 alone!
There's a vendetta against him.
Rely on Grievous swooping in for the AoE.
That's what you need, man. You need that Grievous call-in assist with IG-86. That's the only chance you have.
I just realized, like, I'm sitting here, like, watching the computer screen with my forehead all the camera, my bad, guys. Just like,
oh no, now they've realized you can go for Jawa Engineer and I have no chance. Don't do it.
Oh no.
Yes, revive. Yes. Oh. Oh no. Dengar got a stealth.
you're just not gonna be able to generate enough damage with this lineup.
I mean, you got Zam out, you know.
Yeah, baby steps. I'm just saying that health and protection regeneration. I mean, they keep killing 86. The rest of the team doesn't do enough damage to do anything.
Well, they have the payout now, so it's over. It's just a matter of if I can get.
You get Dinger out of there, boy. I'll take that as a win. Oh man.
I mean, you got a bunch of characters that crit for 5,000 damage. You're not going to be able to overcome that. You know,
surprise, mother.
Surprise! Yeah, that'd be awesome. It. Oh, it's just HK-47. Take out Dengar. No, meatbag.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, and I think Bosk had a full turn meter too at the end.
No, oh no!
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now we have round 2. Okay, and that's going to be with
what?
Chief Chirpa.
Put that scout to work, boy.
Chief Chirpa's going in. Okay, and
if I may make a suggestion, try the other Ewoks with him as well.
yeah, I'm gonna try Scout. I'm gonna try Wicket. I'm gonna roll with Elder.
Right. Okay.
And then, actually, as my 5th, you guys are gonna be a little bit surprised about this. But I'm gonna go ahead.
Really.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Sun Fac, baby. Sun Fac. You know why, right?
Dispel on his.
Dispel on his basic. And I need the one thing I'm missing for the Ewoks really is a tank. So.
Maybe you should have geared Paplo first.
Yeah. Let's not talk about Paplo right now.
Let's talk about
No, not him.
Just keep on Dengar. Just keep on Dengar. Just hit Dengar. Give him a little happy tap. Just happy tap him. You know, just do the little tap. Get that debuff on him. Why are you?
You got stealthed.
I know that, but why didn't you take the stun off? Oh, man.
I can't do anything about that. Okay. Did you say that no damaged?
Well, I mean, that Scout, I mean, I'm not making jokes for real. I mean, you do have Scout that does enough damage to make a dent. You're just going to have to try to get him as many turns as you can.
Oh, how did he... Come on, man, with the stealth. Ridiculous. Dengar is just so cheesy.
It's not easy being cheesy as Dengar.
He's just annoying.
Come on.
You can take him out, okay?
Come on, stop messing around. Use your abilities.
There you go. You're making some progress. Making some progress here. One thing about the Ewoks is, like, you know, we're kind of being forced to gear them up, but it's not a bad thing because, I mean, we're getting bonus points for characters that end with full health, well, I guess protection maybe, but full health. I mean, these characters easily regenerate their health. You could have, if you use a full Ewok team, easily have all 5 characters with full health. So I mean, they could get you 5 extra points on offense. I mean, any team like that regenerates health, protection, they're all going to be decent offensive options.
Bring him back alive, do it. Yay. Now this time heal him.
Oh, get him! Bosk is gone! Yeah! All right. Now it's time to just get Dengar. Let's get him. You can't stealth anymore, buddy. He's got the payout, though, too. So he's going to be a pain to kill.
He's got 50 speed. What's Dengar's base speed? What, 40? So, I mean, like, it's still super slow. He's got his awful base speed.
As long as I can keep Ewok Scout in the game, we're okay.
What is his base speed? Like 110?
I know, it's something ridiculous.
Oh, it's terrible. It's among the worst in the game. 121. That's with the 2 Gear 12 pieces, yeah. So he's pretty slow.
Got him. Yeah, baby. Got it. The Ewoks come through with Sunfac. Oh, man. Okay, so territory defeated. And I was able to save that Palpatine team. That's pretty cool. All right. All right, so now I have a chance. Okay, territory down. And I got the next one. We do have to go into our top 5 in the meta report though here. We've been
yeah, we need
to do that. So I'll come back, and while we do the Q&A, I'll finish the Grand Arena and I'll do the last 2 battles. But let's jump into the meta report now. So first and foremost, this is last week's meta report here. We're going to see a little bit of a shift this week in Revan and Traya. Not much, but by a couple hundred. So looking now at this week's meta report, there's another 100 Revans at rank 1, more Trayas. So we're seeing an increase in both Revan and Traya, which means that there's just less people being used in Arena overall besides these 2. And Palpatine is right behind Traya with CLS right behind him. Bastila still holding on to a piece of the pie there. Darth Maul is still being used, obviously, as a counter to some of these teams here. Rounded out with Asajj Ventress, Rey Jedi Training, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Those 5 people just holding on strong with the Grand Admiral Thrawn at the end there, yeah. But I mean, again, not much change in the meta report. Really, just a little bit more Revan. That's all there is here. Probably more people that just finally got him to Gear 12. That's really all it is. Moving on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. This is last week's with Grandmaster Yoda at number 1. Revan. Jolie Bindu moved up to number 3 last week, surpassing General Kenobi and Bastila Shan. And behind them it was Darth Nihilus, Scion, Traya, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then Bastila Fallen. Let's take a look at this week's Traya. slips down even further. Now is like actually right in front of Bast of the Fall, number 9 on the top 10 squad members. Grandmaster Yoda is still number 1. Relatively similar to last week, just some more Jolie Bindos because more and more people are buying into the Jolie Bindo hype. But other than that, really, again, not much change. I mean, this is pretty much what you guys are seeing in your arenas, right? Just pretty much, you know, mostly Revan at the top with some Traya sprinkled in there.
Yeah, we got a couple guys doing the Darth Maul, and we got a couple guys. You could usually, with like day before TW or so, there's people experimenting with like Rey and stuff, but that's just for prep, probably for TW. Pretty standard, boring climb every day. Just frustrating.
Right.
Yeah, I've got three of them CLS with Chewie, and then Revan and Traya. That's all I see. And there's only like maybe a CLS in the top 2, maybe 2 of them in the top 20. The rest of them are Revan.
All right, that's our meta report for this week. Again, not too much exciting stuff in the meta report. Relatively similar stuff the last couple weeks. Hopefully we'll see a shift here, especially when C3PO comes out. Maybe he adds some viability to a faction that kind of increases their viability in the arena. We'll have to wait and see.
Rebel meta incoming. Here we go, boy.
It could be rebels. It could be droids. You know, we got a lot of possibilities. What do you think he'll have the Galactic Republic tag?
Who? C3PO?
C3PO, yeah. He'll definitely have a Resistance tag.
Droid tag.
Rebel and Resistance, yes. Galactic Republic.
He's going to have every tag that R2-D2 has.
It could. I could see that. I don't know about the Galactic Republic tag, but...
Right.
Resistance is interesting, because that's going to fuel BB-8's self-preservation protocol, give everybody 8%, all the droids 8% turn meter.
Right.
We're talking about, what, 3 Resistance droids now? Is there 4?
That could make a Rey Jedi training team more interesting again.
So you might be able to see Rey really start competing with the speeds on these Revan teams if he is a viable option. There's just so much support on that team. I mean, I don't know. That's almost too much support with BB-8, R2, and C. I just can't imagine, you know, him doing any damage. What's it like a Hermit Yoda? I can't imagine.
He's Hermit Yoda. Definitely. Yeah. What's he going to go do? I mean, is that why he has a red arm? Because he's just going around beating fools with his arm? I am C3PO, human-cyborg relation. Stand still, fool, while I blood you to death.
Well, at least R2 could smack people around a little bit in the movies.
Yeah, R2.
Whereas C3PO would turn tail and go the other direction. True. So I can't see him doing any type of attacks, yeah.
Yeah, no, me neither. He's going to be a support, absolutely.
He might talk him to death. Maybe that's a skill.
I know.
So this week, we're gonna move on now to our top 5, and this week we're doing top 5 factions in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So, what limits a faction? I mean, we're gonna be talking about, you know, all different types of, you know, characters from, you know, the Rebels to the Empire to, you know, everything in between, and basically we're just gonna list what factions are the best based on usability in the game. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be at the top of the arena meta right now, because that could be part of the reason. But it's going to be factoring in arena, territory battles, territory wars, the whole game. Okay, so top 5 factions. Who do we have here at number 5, Maurice?
Number 5 is the Night Sisters. You know, there are limited options, but you do have the Asajj and Traya leaderships. You can beat Revan with either of these leaderships. You don't want to leave them in on defense, and just in a PvP setting. They're phenomenal now with the Night Sister Zombie rework. Both on defense and offense, gives you 2 get-out-of-jail-free cards. They are still a premier raid team. Pretty much, if you have them developed, even just like Ramon does here on the screen, the characters he has developed, that's plenty to get you through, like, Dark Side territory battles, you know, P1 through P6. Very, very, arguably maybe one of the best PvE teams in the game. Just a great all-around team. Relatively easy to gear. They do take all the same gear, but they are relatively easy to gear. Very good. All of them are easily accessible, with the exception of maybe Towson. I mean, beginning players can run Asajj, Daka, Acolytes, I guess Zombie, but I mean, if you're using PvP, Zombie can be understarred. Just you do want to put a little gear on her now. And Talia, they're all easily accessible characters. Just a great faction.
I'm a huge fan of actually Night Sister Spirit. I think that she'll add some value, and you know, you can run Asajj or Towson lead, whichever you prefer. You know, with Daka, Night Sister Zombie, and Night Sister Spirit, and I think that's the best Night Sister team that's out there right now, in my opinion. But what about you guys? What do you guys think about the Night Sisters? You think they're top notch, top 5?
Definitely top 5, top notch. They can attack just about anything out there, and with the different combinations that you can use, they can tackle just about basically anything. I would suggest, Ramon, that you really work on your Spirit, because she is absolutely fantastic at G12 and fully modded, and she can practically take down entire team herself.
She is a great character, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our number 5 faction in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to our number 4 faction in the game, we have the Rebels. Okay, so the Rebels were the dominant faction in this game for a long time. You know, if you're talking about the beginning of the game, you know, you're talking about way back when Akbar was the guy. Then after Akbar, you know, it was Old Ben. Even though Old Ben didn't have the Rebel tag at that time, there was also the Baze and Chirrut meta. There was the CLS meta. There was the Wedge Antilles and Biggs Darklighter meta. There's always been Rebel meta in the mix since the beginning of the game, until the Sith and the Jedi kind of took over the last year or so. But the Rebels are still a very viable faction in this game for a lot of areas of the game, including raids, territory battles, territory wars. A CLS team, as we saw a little bit earlier here, can still be a great defensive team, especially with the addition of Chewbacca. And, you know, the synergies there are definitely still great. I mean, you have fantastic characters. You know, beginning of the game, I'll tell you right now, Princess Leia was the first reason I started buying Chromium packs, because I wanted Princess Leia. So when I first started playing this game, I bought Chromiums just to get Leia. And, you know, then, you know, what happens there is you get Leia, and then you're like 30 shards away from getting Darth Maul. So you buy a couple more packs, and then you're like 30 shards away from getting Rex. So you buy a couple more packs, and then all of a sudden, you know, you spent way too much money. But overall, the Rebels are, you know, definitely a great team, or a great faction, and they'll definitely still have viability going forward. You know, the story about the Rebels is always going to be centric to the Star Wars universe, and ultimately, you know, we'll see some new additions to the game, like C3PO, for example, that may add some viability to the Rebels overall, you know, possibly boosting them up this list here in a few weeks. But right now, I'd say they sit at a solid number 4. What do you think, Maurice?
Well, there's so many options. I mean, just look at the characters you have here. Lots of these characters have dual synergy too. R2-D2, you mentioned a few minutes ago how many tags he has. You got Han Solo here at the top of your list. He's a rebel and a scoundrel. Ezra, a rebel and a Jedi. Just Old Ben as well. Lots of versatility. You've got Rogue One. You have lots of little sub factions in there. You've got Rogue One in there, who's a decent team. Jyn Erso is not a bad leadership. You talk about Princess Leia a second ago. Is she meta now? No, but she works very well under Jyn Erso lead, because she keeps spamming that crit chance up, and it can generate lots of protection. You got the Phoenix in there. Just all sorts of options. Very, very accessible characters. Baze and Chirrut still to this day are very, very good. A very, very good dual kind of synergy. Just lots of options. Big damage from this faction. This is just traditional, you know, high damage output type of faction. Maybe boring to some, not as complex as some of the other factions, but just can get in there, deliver the pain. Ahsoka, Han, all sorts of damaging options within the faction.
Yeah. Listen, Akbar will see his day again. What are your thoughts, Ranger?
Rebels are a mixed bag for me. The thing about Rebels is they are what I call the attacking force. And really, they've stepped up in one regard with the addition of Chewbacca. Chilla's Chewbacca Han Solo combination is ridiculous. I don't use R2 in the Rebels. He's specifically for JTR. Now the Rogue One team for me is a disappointment. I don't use them ever together because they're just pieces that fit everywhere else.
Right.
Sheridan Bays, Han, Chewie, Luke, great. Cassian can work on a Finn team because he does his AoE and exposes. Jen can work. I still use her in the heroic pit raid. So Rogue One doesn't really fly for me that well. I think Ahsoka's okay. Old Ben's really good. So there's pieces to the puzzle. I think they're a great offensive team. I think they're great in raids. They really, really can do well for you in raids. In different parts of the raids that are out there, and they're fine in territory battles. But other than that, the other pieces, I just haven't touched them. Phoenix for me with the Rebels,
right? Right.
Princess Leia is, she's okay in a Phase 2 Sith team, but then other than that, I'm like, sorry, Cinnabons, you're staying on the sideline, hun. So you're not coming in here,
right?
And but there are good pieces in there. I mean, so I think where you have them is fine. They have their pros and cons.
Right. That's our number 4 faction in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to our number 3 faction in the game. What are we looking at here, Maurice?
Number 3, I believe, is going to be the Sith. Traya lead, arguably, we just saw in the meta report, number 2 in the game. You can make a case, you put the right character with her, she can beat anything. I mean, she can beat anything. Isolate, within itself, is one of the best abilities in the game. And you have a lot of options. There are a lot of leaders. You got Palpatine, you've got Vader. Vader's intriguing as a lead, not necessarily with the Sith faction, but there are lots of damage over time mechanics kind of slowly coming into the game here. So you got lots of good lead options. You do have Nihilus lead, that's underwhelming. And you also have Dooku lead, you got a Savage lead. Lots of leadership abilities. There are enough now where you can build 2, maybe 3 type of hybrid teams. If you build like an Empire, like a Palpatine lead with a little hybrid Sith Empire action, you can build 3 teams out of the faction. Scion is arguably, the best dark side tank in the game. Unique mechanics. Nihilus, annihilate. That's all you need to say there. And you have a few pilots now as well with the Sith Trooper, the Sith Marauder, and then obviously Darth Vader and Darth Maul actually. So you have four pilots in such a small faction. They'll serve you well. They do okay, and they're not the best raid teams, especially not the Sith raid, which, I mean, if you get a 7-star Traya, they are usable, but they're not going to be the best team in any situation. But very, very good faction to have developed for the Grand Arena Territory Wars PvP aspect of the game.
Agreed. And, yeah, I mean, so many great players here. I mean, you're talking about, Palpatine team, which has been pretty much the meta for so long, and then, came along Traya with the Sith Triumvirate. Nihilus being, possibly, arguably one of the best players in the game, along with Traya and Scion. I mean, you have so much. You have a powerhouse there in the top 5, top 4. Vader lead was also a great leader for a long time and still has its uses in the raids in different areas of the game. Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin, if you have her geared up, are also very viable pieces to add to the end there. And some of you that have decided to invest in Bastila Shan Fallen can already see the uses for her as well, because I think that even now that the Sith have kind of fallen a little bit to the back burner because of the Jedi, I think that ultimately when we do get some more Sith characters, like possibly a Darth Revan or a Darth Malak, we could be looking at Bastila Shan, definitely Bastila Shan Fallen being a key part of that team, just like you'll see, I'm sure, a Traya, or maybe even the rest of the Triumvirate in that team as well. So there's a lot of combinations you can put together, and I'm sure we'll just continue to add to that as we add more Sith to the game. What are your thoughts, Avi?
Oh, I like them. I love the Sith Trooper. I've got him geared up so well. And even the Sith Marauder has a place amongst the team. Even he's kind of a surprise. He's not as wimpy as everybody thinks. The Bastila Sean Fallen, can't wait to start using her a little bit more. I actually bought a pack and got her up to 5 stars, gear 11. So I'm anxious to use her a little bit more. And I agree with Maurice, in which you use Empire as well as Sith and do a little bit of combination to come up with 2 or 3 different viable teams that you can use in just about anything that you can possibly think of.
Right.
Both in offense and defense.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just a great faction all around. From the beginning of the game, you know, we all were wondering when the Sith were going to be viable. I mean, you know, from the early days, I mean, Darth Sidious was the meta when the game first came out for a while, but, you know, he never really had any components around him. You know, his leader ability was basically generic and worked for everyone, you know, giving everybody the crit chance. And was it crit chance and crit damage, or just crit chance? I forget. But basically, there was no Sith meta until Darth Maul came around with that rework in the Zeta. And, you know, they had their time in the sun. And now it's time for the next faction here that we have at number 2, which is the Jedi. And the Jedi are now the faction in Arena. They're number 1 because Revan just came to the game, and Revan kind of added so many options for the Jedi team, so many bonuses for the Jedi team. Really, I mean, his kit, you could spend an evening reading that kit like it's a book. And it's got so much verbiage in it. There's so many bonuses that the team gets. Grandmaster Yoda also recently got a rework, making him a lot more of a viable option. He hits like a truck now. Jolie Bindo, as we were talking about earlier in the meta report, is seeing more and more use because Jolie is such a great addition to the Jedi team. He heals, he regens characters, revives characters. Bastila, with her bonuses that she gives, you know, allows the Jedi to hit so hard. And obviously, you know, we can't not talk about General Kenobi when you're talking about the Jedi. He's just been a staple in this game since that AAT raid dropped a couple years ago. And, I mean, you know, the list goes on. I mean, Hermit Yoda, Ezra Bridger's a great addition. I mean, any of these components you can put together on a team, and it'll help you out in Arena, it'll help you out in a raid, it'll help you out in TW. And there is a back half to this faction, though, and that's why we're talking about this team being number 2. There is a back half of this faction, like Eve Koth, Luminara, Imagundi, you know, Ahsoka Tano, Kit Fisto. There's a back half, you know, Plo Koon, Mace Windu, that definitely need a lot of love, okay? And it's something we've been crying for as Jedi fans for a long time. I also want to see Qui-Gon Jinn return to the meta one day. You know, we'll see when that day comes. I'm sure, you know, it may not be right now, it may not even be soon, but one day we will see, you know, a Mace Windu rework that actually does give him some Arena viability at some point. You know, maybe a year down the road, maybe 2 years down the road, but we'll see these characters at the bottom of the list here kind of work their way back into viability. I mean, I used to run Eve Koth in Arena back in the day with Jedi, with Qui-Gon Jinn because of his stun. And he did have some viability back then. I mean, not really. He was just somebody I like to run. But, I mean, overall, they're just an overall great faction. What are your thoughts, Maurice?
Well, you know, obviously Bastila and Revan, those are 2 of the best leaderships in the game. You have Kenobi's leadership, which is not terrible either. You have some other interesting support options, and Barris put that Zeta on her. You got Old Ben, and you have Ezra and Kanan, who all have dual synergy. But really, I mean, you take you'll have one Grandmaster Yoda and one Ezra. When you take those 2 out of the equation, you really, I mean, where are you gonna get your damage from? Jedi Anakin. I mean, there's very, very few damage options for such a large faction. They're so dependent on buffing each other to generate damage. it can be difficult to build a second viable team unless you just went all in on the Jedi. I mean, they are the meta now. Revan is, arguably the best character in the game. Especially, he is the best character in the game in terms of just what he brings to a faction. I mean, no question asked. I mean, he's a phenomenal character. They definitely have, two of the best characters in Grandmaster Yoda and Revan. But like you mentioned, it just gets really, really weak once you start getting down into the 8th and 9th and so on Jedi. Just like Luminara. When's the last time you've seen a Luminara? She was years ago when the game first came out, she was, we made farming lists for Galactic Wars. She was #1. She was the most important character to get.
She was,
but no longer. But Ayla's very interesting now under Revan. Counters a lot, calls a lot of assists, so it can generate some protection. Just a solid faction, decent in both PvE and PvP. Obviously meta in PvP, but PvE they do have some nice places you can use them. Revan is probably the best team in the Sith raid right now, but we'll see what the future holds for this faction.
What do you think, Ranger?
Well, I think Jedi should not be this hot, and the reason I say that is this: without Revan, Jedi would be way down the list.
Oh, without Revan, they wouldn't make the list.
Whoa! Grandmaster Yoda did. Let's not forget. After they reworked his leader ability, he was good for a couple of weeks.
He was good. He's a decent character under Basla. He just beat the living crap out of. Basla team was good, but on offense, it was way too easy to kill, and it still is. And with like Night Sisters, you can go down the list, right? Revan was the game changer. Revan came in, and because of what Revan does, it makes Yoda a monster. That little green bastard gives me nightmares when I see him. Like, Yoda goes again. Oh, look, Yoda's going again. Okay, I'm dead. That happens. I mean, there are pieces in here that are amazing. The rest of the Jedi are just, you just go, for a faction, I think CG has really missed the ball on Jedi.
Right.
They really have. I mean, if you look at some of these characters, you've already listed them. I mean, Kenobi and Zaris is still a thing you can use, still viable, but you really want Kenobi with the Revan team, right? Oben's a solid tank that you can use in different areas. Qui-Gon's still, Ezra's okay, right? He's a really good damage dealer. Hermit Yoda's amazing, and you can use him everywhere. But I mean, with a faction that has this many characters that are just, and when you say Hoth, I about wanted to just like, I just wanted to like punch Finn again because I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I mean, Revan has changed this team. I mean, Jolie was not even being used on the Basla team when there was started. Even for a lot of things, he wasn't showing up on the meta because under Revan, he's ridiculous.
Right. Outside
of that, it's very beatable. Right. So I look at it like that. So I would have them a little bit lower, still in the top 5 without a doubt, because Revan is that much of a game changer. But when I look at the overall roster, what's amazing is amazing. What's not amazing is really not amazing. And it's like feast or famine with the Jedi. So
yeah, I agree with you on a lot of those points. Okay, absolutely.
So I mean, that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely a lot of holes in the Jedi faction. I do think that because Revan is so good, he does boost them up. But I mean, it's definitely arguable for sure. But that's our number 2 faction in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving on to number 1. Who do we have here, Maurice?
Let's see if I'm on mute. Am I on mute? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, it's the Scoundrel faction. So before you guys get all bent out of shape.
No, I like this a lot. This is...
Think about everything that's included.
Yes.
You've got all the bounty hunters, every single one of them. You have Han Solo, you have Chewbacca, you can make a rebel/scoundrel team. Just all these scoundrels, all the brand new Old Republic characters. You have the entire prepared squad in this faction. Nest, who is, one of my favorite characters in the game. Just a huge faction. 30 characters overall. that you can choose from, and there are leaders that, like Lando Calrissian. Well, it's not a sexy leadership; it applies to all the scoundrels. You have Kira; her leadership applies to all the scoundrels. Jango Fett has an element in his leadership that applies to all the scoundrels. So you can build a team. You know, you have 30 characters to choose from in this faction. It's so big. It's so versatile. You can build so many different teams out of it. You have so many different unique leads. Stormtrooper Han, IG-88, they both have universal leads that just span even outside of the faction itself. Just lots of interesting characters, lots of interesting, unique abilities for this faction. I mean, the bounty hunters alone, I had bounty hunters on like number 5, and I was like, well, we can just lump them all into one and make them the very best faction in the game.
Right. You're absolutely right. And I mean, it's not just not the bounty hunters. I mean, the bounty hunters are a big part of it. They actually are a great team now for territory wars and a lot of other areas of the game. But I mean, even some of the newer characters that they added from the Old Republic, like Canderous Ordo, you got Mission Vow, Zalbar in there. You can make a nice team with some of those other characters. You can make multiple different teams with this faction. So, there's some blemishes in there. You know, you have your veteran smuggler Hans and things like that. But I mean, just the Kira lead team with the prepared characters. You know, you have Enfy's Nest in there, who's been pretty much a staple in this game now for the last 6 months. And then you have some of these newer characters that I think are going to add viability down the road as more and more people do unlock them and gear them up. So there's a lot of different components here, and forgive me if I'm wrong. Is the new Chewie's in here too, right? So yeah. So I mean, you have a lot of great characters here, and obviously something you can kind of put and make a lot of teams out of. So I mean, if you think about all the factions as a whole, I would have to agree that the Scoundrel faction definitely has a lot of the best pieces in the game.
I agree.
I'm a huge fan of Gamorrean Guard. He's my favorite scoundrel. Everybody loves a bit of bacon, so.
Well, I mean, it's maple syrup, baby. I don't get crazy. I don't know if I'm eating that green bacon off that Gamorrean Guard. You may have to convince me of something else. Oh, it's Jello, Ranger. Oh, okay, I'll eat that. But I think your points are well made. I mean, think about this. The Zeta bot, what are two teams you see? I mean, I'm just talking from my experience a lot in higher territory wars, right? Kira, pair team, you see the boss Zeta team, right? And that's not even mentioning my boy Jango, who's going to be people are farming the hell out of now.
Yeah. Throw
him in the mix. And you go take Chewie and Han, the OG gangsters, you go throw them somewhere. And, with Luke, that's a great little addition. Ness you can put anywhere. You don't have to have her on the Kira prepared team and still have that team be disgusting. You go put her on some other team. There's so many good characters in here that it really is. It's a nasty faction.
Agreed. We do have an honorable mention as usual, and our honorable mention this time is the Empire. Okay, so Empire obviously does also loop in a few Sith. It does also loop in a few droids. It does also loop in, some pretty awesome characters. I mean, there's some Imperial troopers. You have great teams there. So again, you have the Imperial trooper teams. You have your Emperor Palpatine teams. You can still put together some great Grand Admiral Thrawn teams. And then you have Ranger's favorite, the Gar Saxon teams.
No, that would be my boy Blaster.
You cut out there. I couldn't hear what you said.
I said that would be my boy Urban Blaster, the assassin. I don't pay for this.
I like Gar Saxon and Commando. I actually put together a team this last TW and took down a Traya team with them.
It wouldn't shock me. There's two really solid teams in the trooper lineup. I mean, there's the trooper themselves. Range Trooper is
I love my trooper boys. Yeah.
Yeah, Pro Droid, don't sneeze at. He is really, really amazing. Krennic, you know, so there's some pieces in there you go, but like you could go Trooper team, just regular old Trooper team. Then you can go Thrawn with Palpatine, right? Throw in a probe droid, throw in a, throw in a Wampa, and another. I mean, that's a team that can kill Traya. It's got its really good teams and stuff.
Well, Krennic, I really do like Krennic. The problem with him is that he's so incredibly squishy, even under Death Trooper.
Yeah.
If he just had a little more oomph in terms of health and protection, he is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
I think he choked too much on his ambition after that.
Right, his aspirations were a little too much.
How could they do that? Like, how could they have that scene in a movie? I mean, how could you like be sitting there on the cutting room floor, like just sitting there looking at this movie and be like, yes, we're putting that in.
They made up for it.
It is a good movie. But I mean, me and Maurice are in love with Range Trooper. So I mean,
okay, you count me in too. Count me in too.
I'm farming his monkey butt.
He was. Yeah, I got him right off the bat on one of my accounts, G12 7-star, and I was like, guys, you got to get him. I love the troopers, and he just absolutely makes the team.
I'm working on him. There's always some other farm that comes up that kind of, just ruins my Range Trooper farm, but. It's okay. I keep working on it. Eventually, I'll get that done, and I'll have a solid Imperial Trooper faction. But overall, he's just a great character, and the Empire as a whole are definitely worth a mention, even though they're not necessarily in the top 5. But that's our top 5 for this week. Top 5 factions. If you guys like that kind of thing, please do smash that like button and do subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for notifications when we go live. And we're going to move into some more gameplay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in and continue to work on this Grand Arena here while we do our Q&A segment. So guys, this is that time of the stream where we answer your questions and discuss your topics. So if you have anything that you'd like to discuss on the live show, any questions you'd like asked on the live show, any topics you'd like discussed, now's the time to type that into the chat. Maurice has already compiled some of those things for us now. We'll go through them here. We are running a little bit into the red zone here with time. We've been streaming for almost an hour and 40 minutes. We did a lot of this territory, or this Grand Arena battles before. So, we're not going to be on for too much longer, but we'll take as many questions as we can. So, Maurice, do we have anything lined up?
Yes. Let's go. We kind of have a two-part question here from Tom L. Go Browns. So it's safe to assume that this leads to, I guess we were talking about C3PO at the time. So it's safe to assume this leads to Return of the Jedi Luke. Who else do you see us needing for that? I can't imagine that CG would have the rest. Hold on a second, this is the wrong one. Okay, basically, I guess he's asking if the introduction of the 3PO character is going to lead to Return of the Jedi Luke, and who else we're going to need for that event.
I think so, yes. I think C3PO is going to be a part of it. I think that Chewbacca is going to be a part of it. I think that Leia is going to be a part of it. I think that CLS is going to be a part of it. Now, I don't think it's going to be a Leia that's in the game already. I think we're talking about a new Leia. I think we're talking about Endor Leia. Okay, so I think that eventually we'll get a version of Leia, with the Endor trooper helmet on, and she'll have the camo. And that Leia will be the Leia that we use for the team. Again, I could be wrong about that, but I definitely think C3PO is a part of it. What do you guys think?
I think that they're not going to add indoor characters. If you remember the hero's journey, it went from Farm Boy up to Empire, right?
Right.
And they had scenes from episode 4. I think they're going to do this kind of the same thing with episode, where they do stuff with episode 5.
Okay.
So I think Hoth Leia, Hoth Han, C3PO, of course, Chewbacca, I mean, there's a lot of ways they could go with it, but I think those core characters will be in it. I don't know if they're going to introduce ever that Han Solo that had the black jacket from Empire. God, I hope not. If we get one more Han, I think we get like a discount for the rest of the time you play the game because you have a baker's dozen Han Solos running around. I think you're not going to see. I think if they do add Endor Leia, Endor Han, maybe Endor Trooper, you know, from the Rebels and stuff like that, those will be separate characters to add to Luke, right? But I think up to that point, they'll get up to the point of Return of the Jedi, and then like they did with the first round of Luke, that's how it'll work. My thoughts, but I'm speculating like mad, like everybody else. But I think them adding Chewbacca and 3PO were very, very important, and I think those are the last two pieces that we'll need to get to the new Jedi Luke. But I don't think we're getting Jedi Luke for at least another 9 to 10 months at the earliest.
What do you guys think here on this? I'm facing the Empire team with Palpatine. I'm going to use my Palpatine. I'm going to run Palpatine lead with Visas, Vader, Shore Trooper, and do you think I go Dooku? Do you think I go Tarkin? Do you think I go? I mean, I'm trying to save Thrawn for the Night Sisters.
I wouldn't go Dooku. I put in Tarkin before I put in Dooku.
Tarkin? Okay.
Yeah, his Terminator reduction, his buffs that add to Vader. You know, Shore Trooper's fine if you need a take.
Yeah.
And then you've got the healer with Visas. She's going to do really well against the Sith. So, but yeah, Tarkin's a much better piece than old Dooku. Poor Dooku.
Well, the second part of that question, and he says, is could it lead to Endor Leia instead of Return of the Jedi Luke?
Wow, this was not good. They eliminated my Visas like immediately. I didn't even get a chance to go.
Wow, I didn't expect them to just outspeed the snot out of you.
Well, I mean, I guess this guy has has fun with his Empire. with his Palpatine. Yeah, this is bad. This is not going to work out in my favor here.
This is bad, guy. This is bad. This is bad, guy.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, that was a massacre. Oh my God.
That was bad.
Are you guys ready for the next question?
Damn, not this must.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Vistar Kai, do you think CG has adjusted Revan teams with defense? Recently have been timing out Revan versus Revan matchups.
Oh, that's been frustrating.
I don't know. I've never really just gone in there and breezed through Revan with my Revan, and I have a decent Revan team. Is it the fastest Revan on the shard? No, but I feel like my team is decent. I feel like it's above average for sure, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't know. They did tweak the health down aspect of things. Perhaps that might have affected it. I don't know. It's just we've been saying it on this show for a while. It's going to be infuriating. You got the best character, you went all out, got the Revan, developed all these Jedi, and then you just have to face these bulletproof Jolies over and over and over and over again, all the way up your climb. It can be a mess.
It can be.
This okay. The next question is kind of a fun one for everyone here. Master KT asks, "What is a character you've all wanted to gear Zeta for a long time, but just keep getting sidetracked?"
Why is this happening? Why is Trey keep coming back? But nobody's dying. So why is she? Is this just Daka doing her thing?
You got to kill Daka first.
Yeah, Daka's the first one you target.
And then once you get a death kill, then get that death mark on
on Talzin.
Yeah. Now you're cooking with Crisco. I'm sorry, good Maurice. That completely threw me off. What was the question?
That's all right. Master KT asks, character you guys have all wanted to gear or Zeta for a long time, but keep getting sidetracked.
Voltron. Oh, for Galaxy Heroes. I'm caught up on Zetas, really. There's not a character that I haven't. I mean, I've got 100 or 90 something in the bank. 3 I'm saving for Revan, and then I'm kind of keeping 2 for 3PO. But not one at the moment. I can't think of one that I'm like, oh, don't have that Zeta. I really wish I did. Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm looking through my roster and I'm not seeing anything that stands out to me.
Well, like Rebon mentioned it a few minutes ago, a range trooper is a character that is keep getting pushed back on. Like I've finally gotten to 6-star now, more so on the stars than maybe the gear. You know, I've been doing him, and then you know we had to panic farm these old Republic characters, so range trooper got neglected. And now these ships are coming out, right? So you got the Houndstooth, you got the Xanadu Blood, and you have the IG-2000, all in hard nodes. And you know, it's big speculation in the community that you will need these ships perhaps to get some sort of original trilogy Falcon. That's a possibility. So there, you know, if you want to believe the hype, then you want to get on those. And there's just not enough energy unless you want to start getting into the 100s and 200s to farm all these hard nodes. I mean, especially for the newer players. Range Trooper's almost out of the question. Like, you know, so I mean, that's a character.
Tough, yeah.
That's definitely a character that has been on the back burner that I always want to gear up. Another one, honestly, has always been, for me, the Ewoks, to be honest with you. I've always wanted to gear up the Ewoks, and I never really had a reason to. And now I kind of do, so that's why I'm not really that upset about it, because I kind of like their synergy. I just think... I've always thought that they had one of the best synergies in the game. I just feel like they just lack some damage, and you know, yeah, but yeah, definitely. If I had number one that I would love to, you know, work out or work up right now that I haven't, it would be Range Trooper for sure.
I will say a Zeta that I've always wanted to do is Stormtrooper Han. I know it's ridiculous, but I've always wanted to put the Zeta on him.
Why would you?
And I about pulled the trigger, and then Traya came out, and just I need to invest a Zeta just to get isolated. It's not a good one, but it is. I use Stormtrooper Han a lot, and it would help. Like, to me, if he could withstand just another 1 or 2 hits, that would fuel maybe my team with enough turn meter to get a victory. Nobody should look at the roster and see what Stormtrooper Han Zeta does. You do not need to invest in that. That was going to be a silly Farm Boy Luke type investment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Next question from DSP here. Can we nerf Newt Gunray? Scoundrels are too good. I guess this came in when we were talking about the Scoundrels. We did not mention Newt Gunray.
What did you say?
for a specific reason. But yeah. Newt Gunray. Nerf.
They have
Sure.
beaten him so.
One hit takes him out, folks.
It's like, you know, Revan's pretty powerful. Nerf Newt. It's time. Wait, what? What about Revan? No, Newt.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Captain Obvious. Can your next top 5 be top 5 easiest tunes to gear? It would be, but that list would do very little help to the community, because that list is going to include the meta-shattering characters such as Poggle and Count Dooku. So, and Geonosian Soldier. You know,
Lobots.
Yeah.
Be a trip back to 2015's meta report, basically, is what it'd be.
We could do. We could probably do top 5 hardest characters to tune to gear.
Yes.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Yes, because there's no better way to encourage people to gear up, you know, Kanan and Biston, like telling them how difficult they are to gear. Biston is ridiculous to gear. He's absolutely absurd.
Later, you're like, wait.
For such a mediocre
Did I just
character.
redo Kenobi? What the hell is this?
Yeah, Scarif. Yeah, I remember I just finished my General Kenobi, and then I decided to do Scarif from Pathfinder next. I don't think I had a single Carboni in my inventory for about 8 months. You know. It was awful. Fives is bad, yeah. Fives is pretty nasty. Yeah, Night Sisters. Okay, Joseph. Yeah, you're right. Most of the Night Sisters are relatively easy to gear.
Yeah, they're not bad. They have little
Massage, especially, is very easy to gear. Yeah, good call on that one, guys. Let's see. We got a couple questions from our buddy Hans here. The Wampanator team, a plug-and-play phase, or you need to start phase 1 in order to be able to fully win the HAAT. How would you mod that team to make the HAAT more easy? The Wampanator team is a team that you want to use to solo it. Just P1 is the most difficult. I guess I don't run the Wamp. You guys run the Wampanator team at all? They can give better advice than I could.
I haven't done it in ages.
Yeah.
I usually go in like the end of phase 2 with my Wampa, which is Akbar, Hermit Yoda, Wampa, BB-8, and I just have brain fart. Thrawn, I believe. And just put it on auto and just like come back later. Oh, 27 million damage. Thank you. I think for Wampa is the key, and you want as much offense as you can put on him. You want him just smacking the hell out of things. Because once you get him going, I know it's CLS. CLS. I'm not thinking. But yeah. I mean, the other characters know how to do it. It's just Wampa. I went offense, crit damage, stuff like that on him just to make him hit really, really hard.
I definitely misjudged this guy's, Emperor Palpatine team. I should have looked at those mods. Yeah,
you do have Ayla in there.
I know, my roster's done. I mean, I got nothing left.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here throwing scraps at him.
What's your nest at?
I was gonna say, there's the nest. That'll help.
That's not gonna beat that team by herself.
Well, if she can get the what's her speed?
231, not that much.
Okay.
I will say, Hans, if you want to YouTube Sir Georges, I believe, is the one that put the video out on that initially.
Right.
He goes into pretty good detail on all the modding, and it doesn't sound like any of us really run that team. Maybe I'm wrong, but just
I did it once, but that was quite a while ago, and it was a fluke because I've never been able to do the Wampanator in phase 1 ever again.
It's very, very time consuming.
Yeah.
As well. You just really, you really just have to pray. If your guild completes it relatively slowly, like you guys don't fly through it, just take a couple test runs in P1 and get used to counting, because you really have to land an attack from CLS and especially that buff immunity on the 7th hit. You have to time it right, because P1 is definitely the most grueling part of that. He asked another question here. Have you guys been having issues with Grand Arena because my guild has been having issues like auto wins or no-show battle? I think majority of the community had an issue with the first one, as it wouldn't let me in the game. I couldn't even log into I think Avinash and I were in the same voice chat the other night and talking, seemed to affect people of a certain GP perhaps, but neither one of us could get into the game at all.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure, and that's why they're doing these exhibitions. Not only is it for us to get used to Grand Arena, but it's also, I guess, kind of a open beta, if you will. That's what it kind of seems like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing before we get into the meat of it. So just making sure everything works right. It seems to be going... Are you guys having any issues with it this time around?
No.
No, actually.
For initial, yeah.
I haven't done any offense yet. I've got... After this, I need to start tackling it.
Yeah. I might say that for tomorrow. I think I'm snowed in for tomorrow, so I think I've got...
Oh, bang. I just got 5 Zetas.
Sweet.
How did that... Why? What did I just do? I mean, I just lost. I get 5 Zetas.
Well, you completed the quest.
We got one more question.
Because they could not adapt. I can see you have learned the value of flexibility.
All right, how does Young Han's assist work with Karth's lead? Does it nullify it because you can only assist once? Let me read exactly, unless you guys know off the top of your head what Karth's lead does.
I think it does say only one, but Han is different because he can. It's not an assist. His basic See, that was one thing we were kind of wondering too when we first looked at it. So, certain characters that can, like Greedo or Han, right, that can fire multiple shots in their basic. I think it may be from the wording when I read it that that's one shot no matter what. You're not going to get the extra bonus. But then I'm thinking, well, why would it limit it on those characters? You know, but I think it's maybe why they put it in there so it wasn't so overpowered. But I don't know for sure.
All right, the text on us reads, when an Old Republic ally uses their basic ability during their turn, they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage. Now, young Han does not have the Old Republic tag. So if, let's say Karth goes. Let's say Karth does a basic attack, and then Mission assists him. If you have that Zeta on young Han, he's got a 70% chance to assist a Scoundrel. And I guess he could theoretically assist Mission, because Karth is not a scoundrel.
Okay,
maybe. I have no idea. This is just me speculating. Please don't quote me on this. I don't know. I'll try it out, because I do have a Zeta on young Han, which is pretty damn good Zeta. Like it really is. If you like the scoundrels, I don't know. I'm really excited about this Karth lead, but I feel like if I invest gear into Karth, I also have to do it into Ordo. Right. I just simply don't have the gear to do that right now. Not with this Ewok event coming up. And who knows? I mean, who knows what this Ewok event is a resource drain for? Because that's what it is. It's no different than Chewbacca. Like they're throwing, because everyone has the bounty hunters, but they make the thing difficult, so you have to put all your gear into it. And then, like, bam, here's Jedi Knight Revan. Me, I didn't have really the Jedi developed at all. It took me a long time to build my Revan team. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous on what's coming after the Ewoks. But yeah. All right, that's it for the questions, guys.
One data pad? Are you kidding me? 20 pulls? What a waste of... That's so ridiculous. One? Come on, man. This gear is ridiculous.
You did get 10K ship credits, though.
Come on, man. I'm still 19 away. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I'm never going to get these Ewoks done. These guys just... Whatever. So that's that. But you guys got a chance to see me do my best in Grand Arena. I'm going to go ahead and throw my... my Imperial Troopers and then my cup at this guy and see what I could do. I did take out Palpatine, so I have 4 Sith left, but the best Sith on the board are still available, so I don't think it's happening. But I also don't think he's beating my team either. So I think he put his best teams on defense, and he hasn't even attempted a battle yet. So we'll see what happens. But I will let you guys know how it turns out on the next one. We're going to go ahead and call it a stream here, guys. Again, I really appreciate everybody hanging out. It's late night, long stream. We're at 2 hours now. So those of you watching this on the replay, I hope you watched every second of it. Okay? And we're gonna be back next week with the Alliance live show number 77. Please do check out on Tuesday night the Operation Metaverses live show, The Galaxy's Edge, with good old Maurice and TMoney. That'll be on Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern Time. And then you have on Wednesday night the Reality Skewed Gamers, longest live show in the business, longest running live show in the business, going at, 9 p.m. Eastern Time? 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night. So do check that out. And then I will also be co-hosting on the Jedi Academy stream next Saturday, and hopefully joined by Warrior, Finity, and RangerJ1999. Also, do check out Nukin's channel and check out some of the past podcasts for the SWGOH in-depth podcast that Avinash is a part of, and I'm sure she's going to be putting out some more of those here soon. So definitely stay tuned to Nukin's channel for those podcasts when they drop. But again, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Also, go to the ALLIDNCEgaming.com. If you guys are looking for a guild, the Alliance is the place to be. We have over 60, 70 guilds that are all different playing styles. So, I mean, if you're a casual player, we've got a home for you. If you're a really intense player, we've got a home for you. If you're just a player looking for a mid-level guild starting to get into Heroic Sith, we've got a home for you. You name it, there is a place for you. Just go over to www.thealliancegaming.com and follow the instructions into our Discord to join one of our many friends and fellow guilds. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Again, it was a lot of fun. As soon as we get some more data on C3PO's kit, I'll make sure to post a video about that. Ranger and I also recorded the first of our new series of character reviews. So stay tuned for that. I've been working on editing those, so I'll have a character review for you guys probably ready by tomorrow. So definitely check that out, and we'll have another one out during the week, and we'll try to keep those coming for you guys as well. Pick up those character reviews because you know, you don't really see that many of them around these days anymore. So again, I'm really glad everybody was able to join me tonight. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you, Ranger, for staying so late with us tonight, and also, you know, thank you, Maurice, for being my bestest bud and dealing with my nonsense. But we will be back next week again with the live show 77, and I hope you guys have a great night. May the force be with you. See you guys later.